and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. My name is Spanj. Welcome back to another quick preview of Reforged Galaxy or Reforged Eden 2.0. And today we're going to be looking at some hover vessels. Before I get stuck into that though, I've got a few POIs that I've spawned in creative here from Reforged Galaxy 2.0. These are built by Vermillion, and these are going to be replacing a lot of the sort of vanilla POIs that are sort of dated now. Vermillion has been working very, very hard on basically building or rebuilding a lot of them, and in a sort of consistent Xerax style with a lot of the other Xerax POIs that we're already familiar with in Reforged Eden as it is. So you got things like the spaceport and the comm array and the supply depot and things like that have all been redone to conform with his other Reforged POIs. As you can see, they look amazing. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because obviously I don't want to spoil the POIs for you guys and figuring out how to take them on. But, you know, I mean, Vermillion was always a good builder anyway, as we all know. But this is brilliant, and I am very much looking forward to taking these new POIs on. They just look great, and there's a lot of sort of role play in this one. This one, for example, is the spaceport, and you've got, it's basically set up like an airport. So you've got like security lounges and stuff like that. You've got a whole lounge thing going on here. You've got like departure desks and things like that. Polaris Megacorp traders and stuff in there. Imperial flights, no transit allowed. Civilian flights via Angraboa Major, I don't know, but yeah. There's a bar and grill. Yeah, there's loads of stuff in here. It's just, it's all kind of really nicely laid out, as you can see. It looks great. So, and this is just the entrance way. I'm not going to go any further into this POI, as like I say, I don't want to spoil it, but that's just like the main entrance of the new spaceport, or one of the new spaceports, I should say. And then we've got the Xenu base over here. And this is just like generic base type thing. I've not lowered it into the ground well enough here, but basically that's the floor. And you got some bits and bobs there, but again, yeah, just looks excellent. And these are currently without any shields, but I know I've shown this off before, but you got the new bubble shield type effect thing to go around bases here, which look great as well. So you can be able to see the shield effect from a distance on some of these things. So there's a lot more that he's already done, but I don't want to show them off, like I say, too much, because well, you'll be able to discover them when Reforged Eden 2 comes along. So let's get back to the hover tanks. So yeah, there's a lot of the similarities between the hover vessel stuff and the SV stuff. Again, you've got your lights, you've got your mediums, and then you've got your heavies. And a lot of these are basically the same. You got laser cannons and Vulcans and railguns and plasmas and so on and so forth. So all the current weapons on existing blueprints will be light variants. So you can see here on the Demon Mark III that the manual fires are all light. All right, light miniguns and stuff like that. So if you are retrofitting an existing blueprint, not too much work to do that. However, you know, there's still a lot more to do. So we've got the Scorpion here. I've refitted with medium gats and a medium cannon. And I just wanted to show you the medium cannon because it's quite cool. You'd think, why are you using a medium cannon, Spanj, not a heavy cannon? Well, have a look at this. Now, aside from the fact that it sounds like a sentry gun, it fires explosive rounds, reasonably rapid fire, and I can just imagine the sort of like little anti-infantry fighting vehicles you can get from this. I mean, here the Scorpion tank is, you know, by definition now an anti-infantry fighting tank because of the nature of this cannon. And just these Xerax lined up in front of me, and I'm just like blap 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 blap, die. It's gonna be fun, right? So it's got a nice long reload, as a lot of the Reforged weapons seem to have, but there we go, 30 rounds in a clip, and against a standard base shield, it seems to take 1% off near enough every shot. So not bad. And then the medium GATs, well, they're the same as the current GATs, really. They're just slightly tougher than the light versions. Slightly higher RPM, I should say, so. So the Scorpion here is going to be a nice, easy one to upgrade, although I probably will need to reduce the amount of thrust I've got. I don't know. CPU values and stuff are all still very much in the air, so the fact that at the moment it's max CPU at 14,250 and it's 15,000, we're already over, on this little hover vessel, is a little worrying. And this has got things like the superior extenders in it, plus the advanced extenders in it, all the ones that we're allowed to have. So I'm not sure how, other than using quantums, we're going to be able to get the CPU up anymore. Not really ideal for a small little tank like this to be using quantums, I've got to say. The idea of this thing is that you don't have to use quantums. But it is using these advanced large thrusters, and perhaps I can get away with using, say, the medium plasmas or something like that. So yeah, we could need to do some tweaking and refining to get this thing back under CPU, assuming the CPU values stay the same. At this point, there's no point trying to worry about that, because they're going to change, probably. Anyway, so that was the large cannon, the medium cannon, sorry, and then we got the heavy cannon here, which is probably, as you'd expect it to be, is the equivalent of the existing. Oh, oops. So, how did that happen? Oh dear. Just casually, just off the side there. But that's pretty much as you remember it, the old artillery cannon. Nice big explosion, very powerful gun. Bit of a wait between shots, and then it's got like a magazine to reload afterwards. So nothing really new there. We got the heavy laser cannon next. Go ahead and line that up. And we got the heavy railgun. I can't imagine is any different, and plasma are the same as well. So, got the Vulcan cannon. Now, this is going to be interesting, particularly on this build here, because we've got this kind of array of Gatling guns here. So if I take these guys out and then trim all this kind of block work back a bit, and it might be a case that I'll use the heavy Vulcan cannons, and then the medium cannon, but I suspect I'll probably go for maybe one Vulcan cannon would look pretty sick there. I think, you know, it would look kind of on point a little bit, maybe a little bit of block work around it, and it would look pretty dope. And that is a honkingly big cannon. We can also bed that further into the hull, maybe right up in there, so it's a little bit more snug. But I think the fitting 2 in here is probably not going to happen, especially with that pentaxid tank being exposed there. But you can have 2 heavy Vulcan turrets, because you're allowed up to 2 heavies, remember, guys. So I'm guessing these probably work the same as with the SVs, but with 2 of them. Look at it. Look at the shields. Bye-bye. Look at that. That's pretty tasty. Got the shields down to 23%. Standard base shield. And then a reload. That little laser turret next to it just looks so pathetic, doesn't it? If I can get away with 2 of these, I'll take it. I'll take it somehow. Oh my god, we're just ripping through blocks there. Hang on, let me just... Got explosive. They're high explosive rounds, guys. I imagine, right? Now it's an anti-infantry fighting vehicle, alright? There. It's just Xerax. Bye-bye. Yeah. That'll work. Look at that. It's such a mess. Oh my lord, it leaves such a mess. Now we can get full burr. Full burr. Oh yes. Bring on the A10 Warthog rebuilds. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Dakar to the Dakar extreme. So that's the heavy Vulcan cannons. I think they're probably going to be quite popular. Yeah, certainly going to try and opt for one of those. It makes the 30mm cannon, like, why would you 30mm when you can Vulcan? You know what I mean? Like blat bang, or brrr. Just brr to the. Oh yeah, let's bring on the brr. So yeah, that's the Vulcans. They're very nice. I think the plasma here is probably going to be a bit like every other plasma. So let's get some plasma charges. Okay, and plasma cannon knocks about 1% off every shot. Quite slow firing. And yeah, pretty much looks and acts pretty much like the current plasma cannon, really. So nothing new or surprising there, but the model looks fantastic. I do like plasma because it's splash. So let's try the heavy laser now then. So will this be a beam or a pulse, do you think? Let's find out. This little long reload again on these heavy weapons is... There's another beam. If I hold the trigger down, I only get one beam effect. It keeps firing, as you can see. But I only get that one graphic beat. I think that might have to be fixed. Vermillion! Holding the trigger down. I don't get a beam. If I press, I get a beam. Press, beam, hold. No beam. Get the sound effect and the hit. But I only get the beam if I fire it and... I was saying to Vermillion the other day, I do like to break shit. So there we go. Vermillion, I got another thing for you to fix there, buddy. So yeah, the laser cannon pretty much the same as the SV, which is what we'd expect, to be honest. So it's the railgun. Railgun, I'm guessing, is also going to be the same. So the railgun, I don't expect it to do much damage to wow, took 3% off. Does more damage than the plasma cannon. It's taking 4% off. Yeah. That makes no sense. I try and ignore the numbers because ultimately, like I said, they're still work in progress. But that fires and the graphic looks exactly like plasma cannon, but slightly faster. Yeah, the velocity is really nice on that. Velocity is really nice. Hopefully the block damage is good. You can create some nice sniper tanks with those things. And 2 of them will probably pluck turrets off very quickly. Well, that would be the hope, at least, anyway. So yeah, there we go. Railgun, as kind of expected, really. And that's it. That is all the heavies that we have now. That's pretty much what we'd come to expect, I think, from that. The Vulcans are definitely my favorite. Now, then the mediums, obviously we've seen the medium cannon, the medium GATs. The lasers will be pulses. The railgun will be the same. The plasma will be the same. Light cannon. Let's have a little look at the light cannon, because this is something I've not seen yet. And I wonder how this differs as well. So this is 175mm rounds. 175. Get the cannon ammo that we used to have. So the light cannon then. The medium one is like the Vulcan cannon, but in single shot. The great thing is, obviously, you can have multiple mediums. I think you can have 4 mediums, was it? Yeah, so 4 mediums. You can have 4 of those cannons just going blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's interesting. So you get a little explosion. Slightly faster firing. You can have 8 of these. Again, the little explosion there doesn't explode nearly as much as the Vulcan, leaving huge craters in the ground, but it could be very good at clearing out some infantry, especially with more than one. Up to 8 of these things could make a big racket. It really could. So that's interesting. The light cannon, the medium cannon, and the heavy Vulcan cannons. Yeah. It's going to bring some interesting designs, I think. Oh, I can just feel the infantry fighting vehicles coming along nicely, right? Loads of those styles of things. I mean, that's basically what the Scorpion tank was always based on. A light tank. But it's quite dramatic. So there we go. I don't think I need to show you any of the other weapons. I think you're pretty much used to them and you get the general gist of them. So the other thing with hover vessels to look out for is the change in thrusters, again, which is similar to CVs and SVs. So you've now got plasma and antimatter thrusters as well. Plus also that fusion reactor that we saw in the last preview is in here for the hover vessels as well. So that's nice. And that seems to be it so far. Hover vessels, I think, have got a little bit more work to be done on them, and hopefully we'll see either some more unique weaponry and stuff like that. Don't forget that the Project Eden side of things is not in this preview, so whatever Project Eden brings, which I think like flamethrowers and stuff might be Project Eden, they'll be added when the two merge at the end of the development process. But yeah, I'm really excited about those guns. I want those 2 Vulcan cannons and just mow down hordes of Xerax scumbags. It's gonna be great. Gonna be great. But yeah, you can either have 2 Vulcans or 2 heavy lasers, depending on what operation you want to do. Do you want to take down shields, or do you just want to make a mess? Yeah, gonna be great. But there we go. I think from a retrofit point of view, say the Demon here, probably stick with light gats on the front, the turrets, try and get some heavy railguns maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to just play around with it and see what we can do. And the other thing is, I don't even know if tanks like the Demon here are going to be viable anymore, because, you know, this isn't a massive tank. It's a tier 4 tank as per the standard current Reforged Eden, but it's not huge. Doesn't use quantums or anything like that. Based on the CPU numbers that we're seeing at the moment, it ain't gonna work because I can barely get the Scorpion to work. So. We'll see. I wait and see what the final numbers of the CPU and stuff will be, and we'll have to see then what we can make our current tanks into, or whether we're just going to have to build whole new ones. And well, I hope we don't have to rebuild whole new ones, because I quite like the Scorpion and the Razorback and the Demon personally. Oh, let's not forget our little intruder here, which is now missing half of its weapons because they don't exist. But there we go. Hover vessels. They're going to have some nice, fun new toys to play with against all these new amazing looking POIs that Vermillion is adding in. Don't forget, this is only a very small sample of the ones he's added in. There's a lot more there that I don't want to ruin or spoil for you guys. Needless to say, Reforged Eden 2.0 is going to be a very interesting and exciting experience, I think. And I can't wait. I hope you've enjoyed this yet another little preview video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I welcome your comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And hopefully, I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.